I don't think it'll overheat. It definitely overheated on me the other day, and like
Being
cut the
outside.
video. Yeah, it's been doing that a lot lately. I didn't know cameras did that as well. So people keep asking to get on. Sorry, I'm sitting down with the person.
I didn't know. Can you include them?
I
They
could.
can just jump on like a 3-way video.
I'll tell you what, Eddie. If you have any questions at the end, let me know. I will. Once we kind of get rolling and stuff, I'll open it up if you want to jump on, and I'll accept it. I think
Cool.
I'll have you do it again a second time. So, what's up, Christina? So, yeah, no, I'm excited. This is a really cool setup. If you guys got to watch a little bit of the Instagram story ahead of time, you get to see some of the really cool memorabilia. Like, I grew up in sports. I played baseball. I never got past Little League because the ball came in too fast. It's like, I'm near blind in my left eye, and I went from wearing glasses to contacts, and when I did, my batting average went up.
Yeah.
Which would make sense. I could watch the ball in faster, but after Little League, I just couldn't see it anymore. Because my left eye, I tell people, you know the big E on the chart?
Yeah.
It's like super blurry on my left eye. Yeah, so this is all peripheral, like the whole left side. So, yeah, my baseball days, kind of like tapped out at Little League. That's about it. That and I intentionally hit my brother because he was on a different team than me.
Yeah.
And I accidentally hit my sister. So when I hit both my siblings, it was kind of a no-go. So I'm really excited. This is a really cool place. This is new for you guys too, right?
Yeah. Just moved to this location just like 2 to 3 weeks ago, but the business has been established for 8 years or so.
Nice. Well, let me take a second before I get too far ahead and introduce. This is Clint, right?
Yes,
Clint
sir.
Stricker?
Yep.
Awesome.
You got it.
And we met. You guys know I drive for Uber, and we started talking. Realized, this might be. You guys have a new location.
Yeah.
You want to get a little bit of awareness out there, let people know who you are, where you're at, what you offer, and that's kind of what led to today. So I'm excited. Definitely share who you are, like how you got here, because you're from Cincinnati originally. Right?
Yep. Yeah.
Kick it off.
Appreciate you being here. I'm from Cincinnati. I've lived down in Tampa for almost 2 years now. I actually lived in Tampa for a while, a number of years ago, moved back home, took a different job, and couldn't wait to get back to Florida. So been down here for 2 years and joined up with Explosive Performance here just about 3 weeks ago because they do so well in the baseball world. And I'm a strength and conditioning coach, and I predominantly work with a lot of baseball players. I travel with the U.S. soccer team as well. We train athletes of any sport, but between the owner, Nicole, and myself, we do really well in baseball. So I thought it'd be a great fit to team up with her and try to dominate the baseball world in Tampa.
Love it. Oh, we're in a good spot too. Tampa's a good mecca for youth sports.
It's awesome.
Like
It's
soccer,
awesome.
I know a lot of the pros come here when they're children. They come here to practice play because there's a lot of what's that called when you have a big bunch of games all
Like tournaments or
tournaments.
showcases.
I blanked on that. Yeah, they have a lot of summer camps, summer tournaments and stuff here in Tampa that literally people come from around the world to come here. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah. I mean, Ohio and specifically Southern Ohio, where Cincinnati is, really good in sports, including football, baseball, soccer, are all nationally renowned a lot of times in the high school and youth level. But Florida, especially South Florida, it's on a different level. Everyone's so much more dedicated to it. The competition is at a really high level across the board. So it's a great place to be in my profession.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love this stuff. And I like sports. I tell people all the time, they ask me, driving for Uber, I've picked up professional European basketball players.
Yeah.
I've picked up NBA, former, and I'm pretty sure I picked up some active, Magic players, but they were messing with me.
Yeah.
So, and, coming from the background that I had, doing what I did in the military, I know when I ask the same question a couple times and you're really just kind of giving these different misdirections, you're not going to tell me. So I told him that. I was like, look, I used to have a job where I would do the same thing. I was like, I asked twice, you guys just want to mess around. I was like,
Yeah.
it's cool. I respect where you're coming from. You don't have to. Because I asked, they were like super tall. We're talking like, I don't know, do people hit 7 foot? Is that like a normal thing? Because I felt like they were close to it. No? Okay, well, they were like deep in the 6 foot range.
Well, no, they can be if they're in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Pretty like
normal,
big.
yeah.
And I picked them up downtown South Howard, and like I just asked them, like, oh, like so, you know, you guys are in town. They were here from Orlando, which was another indicator. I'm like, oh, what do you guys do for fun? Or what do you guys do for work? And they're like, oh, we have fun. I'm like, all right, so what does that entail? Like, you know, just doing things that are fun. I'm like, got it. Say no more. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
I picked up, who was it? Former, like I said, NBA players, former NFL players. I picked up someone recently that's a recruiter for, he might actually jump on here at some point, that's a recruiter for the, I think it's for high school baseball, going into college. He was here just this last weekend. There was a thing, like was it a tournament? Or was there like a...
Could have been for summer ball, for high school summer ball, or you know, the college World Series and stuff was going on and stuff like that.
So there was a bunch of scouts, is what he is.
Yeah,
He's a scout for high school, for college. So they were scouting the high schoolers. So, and I dropped that guy off at Longoria's house. So that was the first time you guys have heard this. I try to keep that under the radar, but yeah, it's been a really cool thing. There's a lot of athletes here in Tampa. That's why I even went down that. It's not a name drop thing. It's just like that's living in Tampa.
Yep.
You know, I've only been driving for Uber since July, so not even a full year. And I've met Jeter twice. I got a chance to meet. Now, where I worked at, we partnered with the Yankees. So Jeter had retired already. He's very routine.
I've actually
some of the things he does.
Times too.
Yeah, he's cool. I really like he's down to earth and he cares about people, and he loves Tampa as much as we do. So, no, that's really cool. So your job is wide open. There's a ton of people here who could use it.
Yeah. You know, first and foremost, I'm a strength and conditioning coach for athletes. I work with the U.S. Paralympic national soccer team as their head strength and conditioning coach. So I get to travel the country, get to travel the world with them. You know, I've been with them for 4 years now. I've been to 7 different countries with them for international tournaments.
Half of me.
Yeah.
15.
Nice.
So that was military.
Good.
So that's, I mean, being in the Navy, you're gonna hit, you know, one deployment, we hit like 6 or 7.
Yeah. So, yeah, I get to do that, travel for like week-long training camps every month with the Paralympic team. And then while I'm here in Tampa, I train predominantly baseball players, but you know, train athletes of any sport. In Cincinnati, I actually used to be the director of strength and conditioning for a high school. So I was the only coach and I was in charge of 400 athletes. So worked with every sport there, including cross country, gymnastics, swimming. You know.
That's a big school.
Well, it's actually, the high school only had like 700 people. But more than half.
That's a high participation rate.
More than half.
But
like
that's what
60, 70%, 75%, something like that were athletes. So
because I'm doing the math in my head, I'm like 400
Yeah.
athletes. How many must have gone to that school? But that would be a really high.
Yeah.
There's only 700,
Yeah.
so that's pretty good.
So it was interesting. You know, I did that for 3 years, and you know, so experience working with every sport. You know, back when in 2011, I was an intern at it's now called Exos, but they're named Athletes Performance at the time, and it is in Pensacola at the James Andrews Institute, and they had
When would that have been?
that was in 2011.
I was way gone.
Yeah.
I went to school there for the Navy.
Did you?
In 06, 07.
Nice.
Yep.
I love Pensacola.
Gord, like some of the best beaches I've ever
Had
been
a
to.
great time in Pensacola. I
Powder
loved it there.
sand.
Yep.
And
well, anyway, they had like a ton of like pro athletes there and stuff, but they also had a contract with the U.S. Special Operations. So guys that were
okay, now you're talking my actual command.
Yeah, guys that were actually like, most of them were injured. It was like a program to help rehab guys and get back to their teams. But also a lot of, you know, guys in special ops that were healthy and just coming in and learning the system that they can go back and kind of teach their team, just strength and conditioning practices to keep everyone healthy. So
Would that be? I don't know where. I hear the name. I think it's here in Florida. Walter Reed. Is that where that was at, or no?
No.
Okay.
So
That's where they come back from.
Yeah.
It's
a lot
at
of
Fresco
times,
Foods. Have you tried their stuff yet?
I haven't.
Oh my
Fresco,
goodness.
no, I haven't.
She hooked
They in
me
Tampa?
up. They are. They're Tampa based. They're in 3 different Greenwise stores for Publix.
Okay.
The one in South Tampa, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's off of Azeel.
Yeah.
Right there in South Howard area.
Yeah.
If you're down that way, go check out. They have like a ton, I want to say 10, 12 different meals. I've been tearing them up. I just finished the salmon one today.
Nice.
So it was my final one. I ate them all. They were incredible. I can't wait to sit down with these guys soon.
And they're in Greenwise?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, here, Boca Raton, and I forget the third one. I want to say Fort Lauderdale. It's out of Tampa as well. So it's good food. That's an easy one to plug. When I love stuff, I talk about it a lot. So that's why I love this. Like,
Nice.
I got 42 detentions in 4th grade. 42. Okay, they're all over Tampa. Gotcha. I need to look at that again because I want to make sure I promote you guys right. I only know I got 42 because my mom had them printed off, and she slammed them down on the table, and she was like, "We need to talk about this." And I think about it now, like, she wants to talk about me talking.
Yeah, exactly.
I shared this story with my mom. She loves it because at the time it was an issue. You put me in school. I was bored.
Right.
Like it sounds crazy like saying this. It's self-promoting, but whatever. I was in gifted and talented classes. In 4th grade, I read at a college level. I never had a 3rd grade class because for some reason my 3rd grade was integrated with 4th grade. So we had Miss Petrie taught 3rd and 4th grade together, and I went 1st grade, 2nd grade, 4th grade, 4th grade. So I did that with her, and then my next year I went to my 4th grade class. That's when I got my 42 detentions in the second set. Yeah. So I was like, I already went through all this stuff once. I don't know why they just pushed me forward, But anyway, talking became an art. It became something that I learned how to leverage and partner up, connect, and pull those curtains down. So, but yeah, SOCOM it's near and dear. A cool thing. That was my final command.
Nice.
So, and there's something that they say all the time, like, you may leave SOCOM, but SOCOM will never leave you. Like, you're part of the family. So if you're part of those guys, I guarantee if you ever needed something, just reach out. Those guys will bend over backwards to help you out.
No, that's 100% true, because with the Paralympic team, we have 2 guys that acquired traumatic brain injuries through being in special ops overseas, and they said the same thing. It's such a small, tight-knit community, and regardless of branch, everyone's it's a small community. So you're right, though. They're willing and to do whatever you need. So good people.
Operators are the coolest people to work with.
Yeah.
Work with and work for. Like, there's rules, and then there's like operator rules, and more like suggestions, and it's like
amazing stories.
They are. Yeah. Also, here's a cool one. Rick Lamb. You ever heard of him?
No.
So he was, I forget which role he played in Mogadishu.
Okay.
He was there. I'll send you a picture when I get home. Because I have, SOCOM put something out called Tip of the Spear. Before he left to go to Korea, I was like, Rick, I know you're leaving. I was like, I've appreciated your time. We used to sit and watch, right? So there's this, I'm not giving away too much. There's like a whole bunch of TVs and stuff in front of us where we're constantly watching everything going on. And Rick and I would we'd watch TV and it's like doom and gloom and the world's coming to an end. And I'm like, so you got kids, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, they know how to shoot probably, right? Knowing who you are. He's like, yeah. I was like, okay, so if the apocalypse were to come today, I'm driving to your house. He lived in Lutz. I'm driving to your house. I'm pretty sure your 12-year-old children can probably shoot better than half of the non-operators in this building. I was like, I'll be okay. And he just was such a downer. It's the only time I've ever seen a military member who retired, who got back, he would do a lot of ceremonies and stuff. He'd wear his army upper stuff, but the bottom was a kilt. And he would come in playing the bagpipe. And I'm like, how does that his ribbon rack wrapped up around his shoulder. I'm like, people just don't challenge you at that point.
Right.
When you know who he
does what he wants.
Yeah, he was one of those guys in Black Hawk Down. Like legit, one of those roles mirrors his role.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. I worked with Admiral McCraven, one of the most bad to the bone Navy SEALs I've ever met. Dude almost broke my shoulder one day. Like 60-something years old, walking through the hall, and he's like, "That officer down," right on my shoulder. I'm like, "Dang, bro, like I need surgery."
They
on
don't
my
play.
shoulder. So that's cool. So you had a little bit of experience with sports side, with special operators. What is strength conditioning? I have a pretty good idea. Like if I had to explain it, I feel like I could probably figure it out. But like for a lot of people that don't know, what is it?
That's a good question. I would say it's a more advanced form of just personal training, right?
Okay.
It just requires a little bit more education, a little bit more experience, certifications, etc., to be, quote unquote, a strength and conditioning coach. But your goals are always a little different, working with athletes compared to just the general population. And not that we don't work with general pop, like we work with everyone, but strength and conditioning is always geared toward keeping the athlete healthy first and foremost, increasing their performance next, and depending on their level, that's when you start really delving into like the really specific scientific side of things to just try, with a professional athlete, like there isn't a whole lot more you need to do to enhance their performance. They've already reached the top, right?
Little tweaks here and there.
Yeah, so you really gotta.
That's my old boss.
Oh, nice. You really just gotta find those fine details that really kind of only come through, your experience coaching those type of athletes and like the education you received, etc. So it's just a little different style of training is all.
Nice. So when I think about it, the first thing that comes to mind is a football season, right?
Yeah.
You have practice, you have training, but when I think of strength training, that would be like your 2-a-days. That's where like you're not so much on the mechanics of what you're doing. That's gonna come.
Yeah.
Right now we're focused on getting your stamina up, getting you to perform at your peak, putting you through far more here than you're gonna deal with on the field, so that you're over prepared.
Exactly.
Kind of
Exactly. So, working with baseball, a lot of pro baseball players and stuff in the off season, take a pitcher for example. Their demands are very specific. You've got to prepare them in the off season for throwing X amount of pitches that year, for not hurting their shoulder, their elbow, their hips, their back.
This guy.
So yeah.
So my bicep tendon. So they actually anchored it. Well, that's not cool.
We still on there?
Oh no. Looks like it. Yeah, sorry y'all. If you guys are still there and can at least see us, let me know. I'm gonna flip this. Someone let me know. I think it'll come back. I just had an old Army friend hit me up. So, worst case, hey Fresco, can you still see me? Like, what you can't see on my end is it's all black. If you can still see us, we're just gonna keep rolling because it'll come back eventually. I hope. Cool. All right, that's all I need. You can see. Cool. Perfect. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
So.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's it just depends on the sport and trying to prepare that athlete for the season. In baseball.
Pitches.
Yeah, their demands are super specific. It's a rotational sport, and they do it thousands and thousands of times throughout the year, whether they're swinging a bat or throwing a ball. And our job is to try to keep them healthy for as long as possible. And obviously the demands change per sport, so that's kind of our job to figure that out.
That, like coming from someone that had a shoulder injury, like mine came from deployment. I was working out. So we were up in the Black Sea. Imagine working out on the bench, on bench press, while the ship's going like this.
It's a great idea.
It adds a whole new challenge.
Oh yeah.
And you typically would step down so that you could put, a little more weight up. And one of my sailors came up, a little bit younger than me, and I'm, higher rank and older. And you start to get that, the dad thing where the son can't outperform you.
Yeah.
So he's like, I had this mentality, which I share this with people now. It's funny because I say it, I'm like, I think I know what the problem was. I had this program I called the 666. Probably the reason why it hurt me.
Right.
But the reason I called it that was 3 sets of 6.
Yeah.
My goal was my workout program, I was doing heavier weight. So what I wanted to do was 3 sets of 6. If I did the 3rd set and I completely finished it like full strength, then on the next time I would work out, I was usually doing each workout twice a week. And next time I would do that workout, I'd bump the weight up about 2.5 to 5 pounds, depending on if it was a single or a double-sided thing. And that's how I progressed and continued progressing. And I think I was at like 135 or something like that on the bench. So a 45 plate on either side, cranking it out. Doing really well. It'd been a little while. I'm getting back in.
Yeah.
My sitter came up and he challenged me. He's like, Jeff, you're like throwing that up. You can go heavier. So I'm like, all right. And he's lifting heavier weights. So I threw on another plate on either side, 225.
That's good.
I did it. 3 sets of 6. No big deal. Went to dumbbells, crushed them. Woke up the next day, could not even lift my arm. It wasn't like in that moment, nothing happened, no pop, no like nothing.
Yeah.
I woke up the next day, I couldn't even write my name on anything. I had to like lift my hand because this was so done. I had a minor tear in my bicep tendon.
Yeah.
So what they ended up having to do was they cut it and re-anchored it.
Yeah.
And now my right arm's stronger than my left. So, but I know what that's like because after that moment, I took 3, this is the only time in my life, people don't believe me when I say this is the only time in my life where I actually got fat. Because I went from that high, like I was eating so much because I was bulking up.
Yeah.
And I was eating like, each meal I had like 5 or 6 plates. I'm not even kidding. I would have like the main.
Need to get my high school athletes on that diet.
Dude, it was insane. And I worked up to it, my stomach just got bigger, I was able to eat a lot more. But then when I threw my shoulder out and I wasn't working out, it took me a little bit to slow down on the intake. So I did, I got my neck filled out, like my face was fatter, and it was like the only time in my life where I was actually fat. And
injury could do to you.
Yeah. And what ended up happening was I would take time. I'd be out of the gym for a while. And then I would go back in and I would start slow. I'd put, check pride at the door, and I would start with the lowest dumbbells. And for one day, I would just do 5 pounds.
Yep.
And that would be my workout. And people were looking at me like, you can definitely do more than 5. Like, I don't know your strength level, but you can definitely do more than 5. And like, I'd explain it to people. I'm like, yeah, like I'm harboring a shoulder injury. Like, I'm trying to slowly work myself back up. Now, on deployment, I could do 80-pound dumbbells. Sitting right next to the captain of the ship, who's like, and I was temporary on that ship. I didn't actually belong to it. I was just there to fill in for them. And the captain's like, now, lift some heavy weight, because he's sitting there with 90s. He's like a 60-year-old man. Like, how does this keep happening? Like, these
grown man.
older guys are like destroying me in the gym. And I would take 80s, right? And I crank them out. No big deal. But after this injury, from that point forward, 40 was like my max. Because I would keep hitting it and I'd have that issue. I'd just keep feeling it. And then after surgery, I went through everything they said to do it the right way, and it's a lot stronger.
Nice.
So
Good.
I didn't listen when I shattered this, and I pay for it now.
Yeah.
So part of me wonders if I go get another surgery and just have them tear up the scar tissue and go through occupational therapy the right way, if it might bring it all back, but I don't know. I don't know how that works.
That's my job, is to make the decisions in the weight room for you, so you don't throw double the weight and end up tearing the bicep tendon.
Well, where are you on deployment? Why you were not in the Black Sea with
Wasn't
us?
in the Black Sea.
Being followed by a Russian intelligence gathering ship.
That doesn't sound like my cup of tea.
No, it was intense. We went through, it was going up through the agency and then right through the center of Istanbul, Turkey.
Yep.
It's like a waterway, and it opens up to the Black Sea. So, and you weren't there. That's why I needed you. That's why I needed you, coach. So, well, What's up to all you guys jumping on? I'll do a quick recap. I'm sitting here with Clint Stricker. He's originally from Cincinnati. He's a strength and conditioning coach. Lives down here in Tampa now. He's working out with, I keep forgetting it.
Explosive Performance.
Okay, I got the performance down. EP, Explosive
EP.
Performance, right here in Tampa. Where are you guys located? Well, one, where are you located? And two, what's your ideal client? What are you guys? You clearly work with professional athletes. Is that more of what you're looking for?
No, that's a good question. So first, we're located on Dale Mabry Highway, right near Waters Avenue.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right
just south of Waters.
Behind there's a shooting range, like right there.
Yeah. If you know the gun range, you can rent guns. They have a lot of commercials in Tampa.
Nice.
We're just past that gun range, just south of Waters on Dale Mabry. Just moved here 3 weeks ago from a different location from downtown Tampa. Ideal client, right now we're just looking to expand more into the youth market. Predominantly, I mean, we do, like I said before, we do personal training with the general pop. We work with a lot of pro athletes, specifically a lot of pro baseball players. But
Oh yeah, y'all can't see all that. Are those all pros?
yeah. Those two jerseys in the middle are World Series champion jerseys.
Both signed directly to Nicole, the founder of this gym.
Yeah. So between the two of us, we have like over 40 pro baseball players. So that realm we're doing fairly well in. We're looking to expand a lot more into the youth market predominantly and the just general population personal training. So, we do really well in youth baseball. Nicole and I both have a lot of experience coaching soccer. Nicole played collegiate soccer. I work with the Paralympic team and travel with them as their fitness coach, and I've been doing that for 4 years. So we're looking to really expand into the baseball, softball, and soccer youth market because I think we can really dominate in that area.
That's cool. I like it. I love sports. Honestly, I think sports is probably what kept me out of trouble as a kid.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it just
Gives people a sense of direction. Like I said before, like
does.
in
Teaches a lot of
Florida, competition is at such a high level in the youth market. Like everyone is competing for that collegiate scholarship.
You don't have time to mess around.
Yeah, so it's in our field that's great because people are seeking out strength and conditioning and sports performance at a significantly higher rate than even when I graduated college. I graduated in 2011. Like the private industry to be able to come to a gym and work out with a coach barely existed. It really did. I mean, there are a couple of really big facilities, your Exoses, your IMGs, stuff like that, but these private facilities have blown up in the past 5 years.
And Tampa's a mecca, honestly, for more than just sports, but like fitness.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. It's
I
like the
share that.
bodybuilding capital of the country, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I believe it. If not, I mean, you. It's kind of an exaggeration, but it's almost a lot of truth to it. That like every single corner that you come to in Tampa has at least one gym, if not two.
Yeah.
Like go to a gym and look across the street. There's probably one or two within eyesight.
Yeah.
Like I work out at Crunch, and literally across the street is a Anytime Fitness, and 2 blocks down the road is a UFit.
Yep.
Like
yeah.
there's no short. Like if you're thinking to yourself like, I want to own a business, open a gym. Like you're not gonna be set. You're not gonna. I don't think you'll have a problem finding customers.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of competition in Tampa in that realm, but what sets us apart is, this isn't just a gym that you can just come in and get an open membership and come work out whenever you want. You're with a coach the whole time, whether it's personal training or group training. And that group session or your one-on-one session is geared toward exactly your sport, your position, etc. So either Nicole or myself is actually going to be taking you through the workout, coaching you through it, writing your program, doing your assessments, etc.
And what nutrition too?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, depending on how in depth they want to go, like I would just refer you to a dietitian. But for like a high school kid, like we handle a lot of diet plans and stuff.
That's
like
pretty simple.
Yeah.
Increase intake, specific, focus
Yeah.
on macros and break down what they need and cut out what they don't.
Yeah, I'll always give whatever recommendations I can, and then if it goes beyond my expertise, then here's a dietitian I know goes through that. So
Nice.
the other thing I really like about this facility is it's a little more private. I'm working with a lot of different, especially like the pro athletes and stuff. There's some guys that love the huge facilities and stuff, but you tend to see guys that just want to come in and get their work done and kind of keep it a little more private, keep it a little more personal level, and that's what this place offers. So I love it. It's going well.
Nice. That's really cool. What do you think? I don't know how to ask this. How long have you been in the industry?
So I graduated college in 2011 with a degree in exercise science. I did an internship in the end of 2011. So what is it now? 2019?
7 or 8 years, give or take.
8 years, yeah.
Nice. What in that time frame, what do you think some of the coolest? I didn't ask you this ahead of time, so you might need a second to think about it. But what are like some of the coolest intangibles, like the takeaways, the things that you've been like, I love why I getting to do what I get to do.
Yeah, so I think the profession can be glamorized a little more than what it is. Like, you get to work with pro athletes and you get to travel around. The traveling is awesome. I've been to, like I said, like 6 or 7 different countries now with the Paralympic team. The downside of the job is that you generally are working weird hours because people only have time to work out when they aren't actually working. So early mornings, late nights, weekends, etc., middle of the day, blah, blah, blah. But the cool thing about it is this is what I wear to work, right? I can generally make my own schedule. I have the freedom to go travel with different teams or fly out to people for consultations or something if they need that. Like, it offers a lot of flexibility. It offers a lot of different experiences. You do get to train, the big name guys and like travel, and that's your life and making money for it. So it's pretty cool at the end of the day.
Which is hit or miss, because I've there's a lot of people that are pro that are really cool, down to earth.
Yeah.
And there's ones that, because they're pro, for some reason they just become more of a challenge to work with.
Yeah.
And it's like you still put your shorts on one leg at a time.
At the end of the day, like, you'll have those guys, in the pro athlete realm, but you have the same type of people, just like general population too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like, you're gonna have different personalities that you have to figure out, what coaching style, what communication style works best for them.
That's huge. That's the reason I am where I am today. I read a lot. I constantly am still reading. I hate the word self-help. I think they're all educational books.
Yeah.
And people skills. They're not people naturals, which means you can develop them. You can read something and be like, I do that a lot. I should probably stop saying that. Or I should probably, here's how when you alienate people, boom, that's a very clear indicator of how they respond.
Yeah.
Well, I should probably stop doing that. And there's like, those books have helped me get to where I am. All those names I mentioned earlier, there's a guy, I'll skirt the name. You guys actually might see him in the future if we do end up starting to work and do business together. But he's a professional, retired NBA player that wants to link up. By the end of a conversation, 40 minutes from like downtown Tampa to St. Pete, by the end of the conversation, I have no idea who he is. These are 2 riders in my car. The guy in the front is actually it's kind of cool. He's a high school principal from Ohio. I don't think it's Cincinnati, but he is from Ohio as well. So, and he's like high school friends with this gentleman.
Nice.
So before they're about to get out of the car, the guy in the back is like, we should stay in touch. Let me grab your number. He's like, I don't usually do this. And the guy in the front turns around and he's like, and he looks at me, he's like, I've known this guy for like 20 something years. He's like, I've never seen him get someone's number. And then like before they're about to get out, he's like, you should Google so-and-so. And he's like, no, don't Google me. I'm like, oh, you famous, bro? And he's like, I'm like local. He said, I'm like city famous. I'm like, dude, that's so close to what I tell people. I was like, because I have 20,000 followers. And like, it's really not that big. Like, I have friends with 400, 600,000 followers. I'm like, those are big accounts. And I was like, I'm bigger than the average, but I'm still a little guy.
Yeah.
And like, I tell that to people, I'm like, I'm local famous. I'm not super. I don't even like the word famous, but like I go out places and people tell me like, oh, like I know you. I actually follow you on Instagram. Like a lady I picked up the other day. She has you guys will probably see her later. She has a business where they help families that have pets that are on their last days. and she really helps that family come together and like just to be there, you know, to like we pull pets into our family now, they're part of the family, and she's built an entire business now around just serving that animal and helping that family with what's about to happen.
That's awesome.
And by the end of the conversation, like she follows me on Instagram. She like paused for a moment when I told her what my Instagram was. She's like, "All right, this is really weird." She's like, "I already follow you." Like,
That's awesome.
that happens. That does happen sometimes. So that's cool. Thinking back, like as far as